Hello, fellow CNCers. It has been a while since I've given an update on only CNCs, and I do apologise about that. Now, unfortunately, it's been a very difficult year for me and my family with the loss of a close loved one. So basically, I had to take a bit of a step back to focus on my family. I keep a pretty clean line between YouTube stuff and personal life, so I'm not going to go into that. However, work has still been going on in the background making updates, so I wanted to talk you through those, what is already live and what you can expect to see in the coming future. So what I can confidently say is obviously over the last few months, machines have continually been added. And I'm pretty sure we've got nearly every desktop machine out there on the system. There are still the odd rare one here and there that are missing. But for the most part, the most common machines should all be on there. Now, they will continue to grow as new machines come out. And if I'm not featuring one, drop me a message. I will try and get it added. Obviously, if I don't know it, it will take a bit of guesswork on my behalf, but we can do our best to try and get that up and running quickly. Now, in terms of the bits themselves, one of the obviously things when we launched was keeping it to the most common bits that people had in use on a regular basis. And I would say we've probably covered that pretty well. But obviously, there have been constant requests to add new ones to it. So what I've been doing is we've added a 1/16th bit, a 132-bit will be coming soon. And I also got a lot of requests about metric bits. So they've been added. I think we've got 1 to 7mm upcut bits on there. And again, I will continue to add things to that. But as I said earlier, if you've got bits that you want adding, let me know. I will do my best to add them. I can't cover every bit off, especially ones that I don't have myself. So I can't guarantee they will be on there, but I will do my best to keep building that database out. Now, in terms of the overall platform, there have been some pretty big updates going on, and I'll talk to you about those now. So a bit of a common request that I was getting was about saving your settings. So once you've generated your feeds and speed, if you wanted to go back to them later on without going through all the menu system again, an easy way to do that. That has now been implemented. Once you've generated your settings, go down to the bottom and you'll see a new button that says Save Settings. Now, in the navigation at the top, there is also a new button that says Saved Settings. And when you click into this, it will list all of the settings that you have saved previously. Just click into them, expand it out, and it will give you those settings. So if you are doing repetitious work or you've found settings that work good and you want to go back to them later, that is exactly what that feature is for. So hopefully you're going to find that really useful. Now, I just want to quickly cover something off. The biggest complaint I have had about Only CNC since it launched was about having to log in and create a profile. People think it was all about the data capture, but in reality, it was about this. It was about being able to have a customized experience, say things that are important to you. If there is no way for you to log into the site, there's no way to make that happen. So whilst it wasn't live at launch, this was always the plan, to have things that you could do for you that wasn't relevant to other people, save settings for you and have a more customized experience. And there will be more things coming in the future. So yes, you have to log in, but it is for your own benefit. Now, something that is arguably much bigger that I think you definitely will find useful is I've actually been working on a piece of software in the background that will be incorporated directly into Only CNCs. Now, if you've watched my videos in the past on machine reviews, one of the first things that I do often is a speeds and feeds test grid. And what this basically does is it gets faster as it goes along, does lots of squares or circles, getting faster each one. And then every line that it goes up, it gets deeper with what it is doing. And what it basically creates is a grid where you can see how the bit is coping on the machine. Now, most of the time with desktop CNC machines, the bit will outperform the machine. And that is one of the reasons, obviously, I developed this platform, because traditional speeds and feed calculators do not work. Now, these feeds and speed grids are basically how I've determined my data over the last few years. You can visually see as the cut starts to get rougher, but also listening to the machine as it gets faster and deeper, you can hear when it starts to struggle. And what you do is then look at that grid and go, well, this speed seems to be the best one for my machine. Nailed it in. Now, to develop those grids in Carve Code, it takes anything like 20 minutes to half an hour to customize them for each machine and keep generating each individual square. So the software I have generated will do this for you in seconds. And I'm literally talking seconds. You say what bit you want to use, the feeds and speeds, and how big you want the grid to be. Click generate and it will do it for you. And then you can export the G code directly from it for your machine. I should say the G code is Gerbil based, but obviously most common desktop machines are. So if you are struggling to find a specific bit or a specific material on only CNCs, well, you can use this tool to dial your machine in yourself. Just do a quick test grid, let it run, and you'll quickly see or hear where the best settings are for your particular machine. So as I say, I think that is going to be a really useful tool for everybody out there, because it is, in essence, how I built this platform. So I'm really excited. That should hopefully be going live maybe in the next month or so. I've just got a couple more tests to do to make sure everything is working as expected. Now, I had mentioned previously as well about launching only CNCs as an actual app on your phone. That is still coming. Unfortunately, it takes a while to get through things like approval processes with Google and Apple Store. So once I've got over those hurdles, I will let you know when it is up and running and you can physically download it on your phone. Now, one update I've implemented as part of doing this app is a Remember Me function. So every time you visit the platform now, the first time you log in, if you tick the Remember Me button, it will not ask you to log in again. It will just take you straight into the platform and get you started where you need to be. So again, making things a little bit quicker, especially on the app form where you just want to tap it and get going really quickly. So whilst I have been quiet, there has still been a lot of updates going on in the background trying to make everything better for you. Over the course of the period since I launched, feedback, or negative feedback I should say, has been pretty minimal. So I think it is doing the job. Obviously, if you are liking the app and finding it useful, please share it in groups on social media and things. The more people we get using the platform, the more data is fed back in, the more successful it becomes for everybody. So yeah, say if you are liking it, please make sure you share and talk about it with other people. Now, in terms of other updates going forward, I am going to try and expand out the material list a bit. So for example, how we've just got something like hardwood, I'm going to try and break that down into alternative categories to give a bit more specification around particular types of hardwood, because obviously hardwood in itself is a pretty broad range and you've got groupings within that based on the hardness rating of those woods. So that is going to take a little bit of time for me to figure that out and get all the separate speeds and feed settings, but that is what I'm working on in the background. So as I said at the start, I just wanted to give you a very quick update about what's been going on, what you can expect to see. My goal as always has been to deliver the best product I can to you for free and basically allow you to get up and running as quick as possible with CNC work, and hopefully it is doing that. Now, thank you all very much for continuing to support me. Obviously, a big thanks to my sponsors who have made all this happen. And obviously, any feedback, things you want to see on the platform, continue to comment down below or feedback on the form on the site. As I say, I do listen to everything. I try to reply to as much as possible. It is all taken on board. But thank you very much, and I'll see you all soon.